Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Ruth Marquise, your favorite realtor. All right, guys, we're about to start the show. But before I do, let me get this part together. Hold on. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Ruth Marquise, your favorite realtor. Welcome to the Ruth and Relationship Show. I am your host, Ruth Marquise, aka your favorite realtor, aka your favorite credit specialist, aka your love negotiator. I help men and women relate, get into quality relationships that lead to quality families, that lead to quality communities, that leave quality legacies. Let's build. Today's topic, the 4B movement and men going their own way. 4B and MGTOW. I want to focus on the 4B, but it's always going to come back to the what the other side is doing, right? Since y'all want to have these gender wars or whatnot. Anyway, if you're on here, say hi. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. Let's get started. Okay. So first of all, before we even start that, I really do appreciate Ruth and Relationships because I get to say the stuff I wanted to say in depth. I get to talk. And I want to just kind of give y'all a recap of my growth and my progress. So I don't claim to know it all. For real, when you have wisdom, you realize you don't know anything. There's so much to learn. There's so much to know. Should I focus on psychology? Should I focus on self-love? Should I focus on relationships? Should I focus on communication? Should I focus on my relationship with God? Like all of these things, the more you strengthen it and you more you come back and learn and grow, the better you become, right? And so the moment came, I was showing my daughter a clip, and I was on the Lapeef Let's Talk. Check it out. We were on the panel, and it's supposed to be a relationship panel, but now he's throwing in politics and religion, and you know that's gonna be like, oh Lord. So I was already having an attitude, and I'm like, Ruth, how you gonna have an attitude talking about the Lord? But I was like, that's not. I don't want to hear that because everybody. It's like when you're coming into a contrarian environment, you already like you have your wall up. Like nobody want to really hear about God and Christianity and people calling Christianity a cult and all that. I'm just like, all right. I get it. But look at the world. The world look hopeless. And look what y'all believe in now. Everything, everybody but Jesus. Y'all want to say it in every movie and every curse word, but it doesn't, when you want to give it real weight behind it, you don't want to talk about it. So anyway, I came in and I was showing my daughter a clip. I was cooking too. And it was just like, I try not to argue with people. I've never, ever really sat there and argued with people. Like when I back in the day, I used to, but I realized they always have their talking points that's going to trump your talking points. So if you don't get to a place with God where that you know, then they're always going to beat you. But now that I know that I know that I know, there's nothing you can say to me that's going to rattle me or shake me or make me shake my foundation. My foundation is strong because I told my daughter, I was like, this 30 years. I said everything in 2 minutes, but this 30 years of experience. So it's a difference when you have that behind you. And so I just realized that the more I keep showing up, the more I keep on coming on here and I'm growing in front of your very eyes, the more when it comes to relationships, I'll get to that place where I can break down the whole thing in 2 minutes. That sounds so profound and it's right and it's on point, but I'm gonna need my 30 years of experience. So here I am getting my 10,000 hours and let's get started. Ooh, that's so good. I know. Shout out to my baby. He's so cute. And he is so understanding. And that's what I was relating one thing to another when I say here I am able to express myself in depth when it comes to relationships. And the biggest value that I see in relationships at my stage of my relationship is the fact that I can talk to him and he will listen to me, and he's not like interrupting me to stop me to say, look, I only want to give you the solution and I want to be done talking about this. He lets me go on and on. It's interesting in conversation, but when I'm done, I feel like, you know that feeling when you got off the treadmill and you floating? I feel like that emotionally. And that is exactly what we need the men for these days, okay? We need them to be that ear to find, like, hear what I'm saying. And then when you start seeing patterns, the more you listen, the more you're going to know exactly what to say, when to say, how to say it. And therefore, when you do give me a solution, it's more of an educated solution. It's based off of what you've learned and what you heard. I was listening to something about communication, and it was like, you should let everybody else talk first, because when you talk, you gave your opinion. That's why I'm starting to see that that's true. You gave your opinion, and you didn't really have that much context. But when you go and get what everybody else in the room said, and then you add to it, your answer is stronger than it would have been without knowing what other people are thinking. The same thing. I was speaking at a seminar the other week, and I went after a couple good people, but I was able to tie in what they were saying. And yeah, they might have went off their notes and their training and everything like that, but I had to take my notes, put it to the side, and just go over, look, we learned a lot. We did this, we did that. I don't want to repeat the same information. I used to always get mad, like, it don't matter. You can say whatever you want to say. Don't worry about repeating the information, right? And then I was like, oh yeah, I really don't want to sound the same and say the same exact thing. It's more beneficial to my audience that I adapt what was said and say, all right, let me add this on top of that and add that on top of that. All right, so that's it. So I'm learning that the more I come on here on Ruth and Relationships, I continue to grow. I continue to learn. Sometimes you want to talk on things. I hear and notice that people want to talk on the Bible that don't even read the Bible. Please don't do that. Like, that's disrespectful to me. If you don't read the Bible, you don't have to believe it, but know what it say before you start jumbling it up and start acting like we're all crazy because you picked a little part and you want to say some dumb stuff about it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's not like, I wouldn't sit there and like, when people, I know people have certain beliefs. I'm not going and blowing up your whole belief and I don't really understand it. I never walked through your shoes. I don't understand, or I did before a little bit and I was like, oh, I came from that. I already know what that's about. But you was halfway. You was scratching the surface when you was in there. You wasn't that deep. Were you at the highest ranks when you were a Christian? No, you were not. So you really didn't know what was really going on. You just know the outside of it, but you don't know the inside. So we're gonna move on to our topic. But I just want to relate, like, how a good man listening to you is the same thing as like how I'm able to vent and get out my thoughts and relationships. Because sometimes I be like, oh, I got a lot to say about that. So what do you guys think about the 4B movement? The 4B movement. So they're in South Korea. The women are saying no heterosexual marriage. Right there, you already. I'm not saying I'm against it, because guess what? I was actually about to do this. Um, if you hold on, no heterosexual marriage, no childbirth, no dating men, no heterosexual sex. What's so horrible about this is, I don't want to judge it too soon, but the fact that you're saying no heterosexual marriage, why is it a no marriage? The fact that you said no childbirth, I was already out because I already had children. Then they said no dating men, okay, no heterosexual sex. So it's okay to have gay sex. I mean, it's okay to be with women, but it's not okay to be with men. So the first thing that pops up in my mind, I know, and it's a radical feminist movement. Not that radical feminism, I would say it wouldn't even be radical feminism without, from what I understand, far right, far left, and all that. It's more so like the most extreme version of it, right? Because feminism is already radical nowadays. In the West, we're dealing with radical feminism. They taking it to the extreme, extreme. It's almost gothic, because why are you wearing all black, cutting your hair, and that part is like, a little suspect. It's kind of, when everybody's talking about a cult. Why don't we say that MGTOW's a cult? Why don't we say that 4B is a cult? I don't want to give away my feelings too early. All right. So it's like, you dress them all black, you cut your hair, you don't want to be feminine, You just want to be, this hardcore person. I mean, it's kind of like giving lesbian vibes anyway. But it's like, but the good part is they're saving their money so they can get themselves financially free. But and the other good part is what else are they doing? They're saving money. So they're trying to be this um woman that wants to decenter men. I get it. Trust me, I do. But at the same time, it's like, so what y'all gonna do? Be with each other? That's a problem. You're gonna find something else you don't like, and they're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get you back." There's something totally wrong about, how somebody cheat on you and you go cheat on them back in order to get back, but really you just hurting yourself. Somebody explained it to me and I was like, "That's not fair." How you gonna? I said, if you cheat on me, I'm gonna cheat right back on him. Like they were like, "Do not degrade yourself like that." Why? Because women having sex to get somebody back, not because you want to, not because he's your husband, not because this is what God told you to do, right? Now you're hurting yourself because you literally in society are hurting yourself the more you have partners, and you just really never know how your husband's gonna come. He might be the one that was like, nah, no, it gotta be low body count, and you don't have that. So you just hurt yourself in that circumstance, in that scenario, thinking that you're getting somebody back. That's why they say, what, like when you point one finger here, three fingers are coming back this way to you. You're just hurting yourself. All right, so they're boycotting. This is the other positive that I see. The boycott is necessary to close your legs, right? Why can't we just have a boycott where we're like, you know what, no more sex before marriage? That would have been a positive boycott. But y'all picked the most raggediest, most extreme thing to do, ladies. And that's it. But in South Korea, I really don't know if they're like really like how the men and the women act. Like I would have to study the culture more. But it sounds like they're trying to pick men out to be really bad. And I was like, is it that bad? And that's like, how like people like in the United States, they're like the men are horrible, the men are trash. I'm like, the laws favor the women here. So if in South Korea the laws favor the men, maybe that's the hostility. It's the law is creating the hostility because they know that it's in favor of the men. And that's why they say so patriarchal society, and we are opting out, and we're going to live our lives, and we don't even want to be friends with men. I was like, ooh, that's extreme. So the other part about it is that they're mad. The women are mad because all the housework are falling on them, which makes sense to be mad if you're working a job and you gotta have all the housework on you. So if you are the one working and you have all the housework on you, then my opinion, in my heart, that man don't love you. He don't love you. He gonna sit back, kick up his feet, and do nothing, and just know that you want to do it, and then be the guy like, oh, it's what a woman's supposed to do, or you guys like stuff like that. Nobody was born wanting to clean. That's a very small percentage of people that want to be born to clean and cook and all this other stuff. No, we do it because you're responsible. So if you're saying that, hey, I gotta help pay the bills and I gotta do the housework too, so that's my thing where it's like, can we study the culture and see if the women are actually working? I do believe they're working. So yeah. But if you were just you're mad because you have to do household chores while your husband's out working, baby, what are you trying to do? So it's a little bit confusing as far as you got to look at a case by case basis. Like what are they really saying? And my thing is, what does South Korea have anything to do with us? Now we want to bring everything negative. I had some siblings, man. Every single thing I did, I was such a good. I lived my life to be a good example. And you know what I realized? They was waiting until I did anything wrong. It's like, yeah, see, she taught me that. See, I taught you a lot of good things, but you wanted to cling to the negative stuff. And it's like, that's when I realized you have to. For my children, I was like, look, the bad stuff that you do, they're only going to remember that. So therefore, you try to do as much good as possible. You're still a human being, but if they're going to hold you to it, oh well, it is what it is. I'm not perfect, but at the same time, it's like, don't try to live your life for other people to be like, oh, I have to be perfect. I can't do this. I can't have any fun. I can't do this. I can't do that, because they're only going to look at your flaws anyway. So That's pretty much what I learned. All right. So if you, like I said, if you're just going to have the housework, you're gonna be humiliated by your in-laws and scrutinized by them. It's like, wait, the man has already had the upper hand. Now you want to bring your family into it and get on my nerves? Nah, I'm good. I don't like that. So for the women, their biggest problem with the men was the housework. For the men, the biggest problem with the women was the feminism. I'm so sorry, but I be staying a lot to do these. My children had a fashion show, and I was up late doing the hair. And I'll do some more hair tonight. Um, yeah, men have a problem with feminism, right? And I understand what they're saying is because we overcompensate. Like in America, we if the women want to start looking good and wearing lashes, we just can't have the little lash. Our lashes got to be like this. We gotta have this. We just over exaggerate a lot, right? And we have the nails, they gotta be out to here. And it's just never no balance. And so the men are gonna say, ew, we don't like your lashes, we don't like your nails. It's not that they hate that we have this stuff. It's just that why does it have to be so extra? Right? I just want something that looks beautiful and simple, and that's it. And we are nothing like beautiful and simple. Right? In general, women are the ones that want the flashy lifestyle, the flashy everything. What are you talking about, friend? I don't understand at all. All right, let me see if I could do something. Hold on. Let me see if they will let me do some other stuff and let me clear my throat. I'm trying to see. Okay. So, I mean, okay. I guess that. Hold on one second. Alright. Yeah, I don't know how you would add. I'm using a different way of everything. Alright, I'm sorry. I think I see what I gotta do here. Add this clip here. Hold on a second. Mm. I want to see something. Maybe I have to just get the clip and add. Okay, but it won't let me do anything unless I'm live. What's the video background? All right. I'm back. All right, here we go. So the men have a problem with feminism, which I can understand. It took me a while. I was like, why would you be mad about feminism? Like we want things for women too. But when you start the part of feminism they don't like is, oh my gosh, it's just like the woman is so focused on herself. Like it's a very like, didn't I say we were extreme? Like the extreme spider lash is extreme. So the problem becomes you're not thinking about the man, you're not thinking about the child, you're talking about them kids, you don't care about the man, you just everything about yourself, right? And one thing they were saying was before I say that, the higher violence in South Korea. So they have a higher violence rate. So they're like basically, we don't like this getting hurt thing. And I agree. Nobody wants to see women get hurt. They want to see them in violent situations. And men will be more emboldened to act all crazy when the law is in their favor. So I understand it. And that's why I was like, 4B is something that they're just rebelling against society's norms and they're hurt. And they're like, well, we're just going to boycott. And it's fine if they want to do that, but don't go and just try to deal with women and act like you're really doing something. Because one thing you're messing up is God said, be fruitful and multiply. So I could have never went down that path of having no children. Like that would be the worst thing I ever did. Even my kids was like laying down on me And people like shame people for having children and families and stuff. I don't understand that culture. I think y'all crazy. I think it's stupid for you to shame somebody for having kids or for loving being a mother. It's like, but the whole thing that they were saying, when the women were adopting the 4B in America, they were saying, "Dang if you do and dang if you don't." I've been saying it about men, and it's backfiring. Dang if you do and dang if you don't. If you keep the baby, then now you are single mom. Yeah, right. And if you don't keep the baby, then you're conflicted. You're going to hell because you had an abortion. If you it's like the men want you to have abortion, right? If you do the abortion, then you'll have a problem with that, like with their religion, right? And then if you or your religious group, and if you kill the baby when a man don't want it, then you stole something from him, which is fair, right? If you keep the baby, then you're forcing a man to have a baby, right? And then if you want to stop, if you want to be celibate, right? Wait, if you're a virgin, right? They treat you a certain kind of way. Well, that's they said that's what you want, but society went against you being a virgin, right? So society says no. Now you're not a virgin, and that when you were a virgin, they're like, "Oh my gosh, everybody's doing it. Like, what's wrong with you?" They clown you for being a virgin. Then you finally not a virgin, right? And then the men start saying that you got a high body count or anything over two. If you have one man, that's a high body count. If you had two men, that's a high body count, right? And it's just like now you get blamed for that. Now you're getting blamed for it if you want to be sexually free, even though the society is promoting sexual liberation, right? And that's why I don't rock with no radical feminism. No, you're being a prostitute, you're being promiscuous, you're being whatever when you're trading your money. And if you say I need a cash app before you can talk to me, before we deal with each other, we'll do it for this amount of money. That's prostitution. Yeah, I'm gonna say that every time. When you want to sleep with this person on Monday, another person on Tuesday, another person on Wednesday, even if it's just three for the week, baby, that's promiscuity. Okay. If you just don't care about even being a girlfriend, don't even be a girlfriend, that makes you promiscuous. Like some things we don't need the men to tell us what's right and from wrong. You'll wait until the men tell you what's wrong to know what's wrong. That's the problem. So then when it gets to our bodies, the lady said, as our bodies grow older, our minds stay 21. That's the problem. We want to be forever 21. Forever young. I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Listen, I don't want to be forever 21. I bought some Forever 21 dresses and I have regretted it. I have thrown every one of them away because in my life it don't apply. It don't it don't work for me. If I walk out here with a short skirt on, right? They were all short skirts. Okay. They're the only ones selling skirts, in my opinion. But anyway, moving on, all them little dresses, those little cute clothes, and all that. It was cute, but it was too short. It didn't go with my lifestyle. It didn't go with me trying to be a businesswoman. It didn't go with me trying to be mature. Everything was always inappropriate all the time. When you grow up, you were like, you know what? Maybe my boobs don't have to all be out here like my bra. Maybe, well, I never did that all the way down there. No. But maybe I don't have to have a skirt with my butt cheeks hanging out, like just being nasty. Maybe that's like I don't have to dress like that. I don't have to be like that. I can be myself. When you get older, you want to be yourself. So no, I don't want to be forever 21. I'm sorry. I don't want to be 21. I want to be who I am. I want to have the wisdom that I have. I want to move through life differently. That's why, wow, my mindset is changing right before your eyes because it's like when you're older, you wish you had more time and you were younger. You want to wish you were here, but you don't wish you was that dumb as 20. 20, I was dumb. I ain't know. I could even say up to 35, I was still making mistakes. You see what I'm saying? Then I start opening up my eyes, and I thought, oh snap, I better change, right? And I was on the mature side. I was on the trying to do things right side, right? But when you don't have multiple voices that are wise in your life, you're gonna make dumb choices. How you getting older, but your mind is 21? Do you know what that means? Do you know how y'all be telling on yourself? The guys can hear you telling on yourself. They can hear you telling on yourself. You just said, as my body get older, I never get mature. That's what we heard, ma'am. That's what we heard. And we're not sugarcoating nothing for nobody. Like, why should I sugarcoat? Right? And so, all right, we're gonna get into some stuff. So now the men going their own way, and before I get into that, I had to say I didn't really date for that long. But then what year or two I did date, it was traumatizing. It was not good. All of this, I want to go on this date with this person and another date on another with another person. You know how you want to take your friend that you know how you want to go on a trip, but you don't want to take everybody because they're gonna mess up the trip. This is it right here. This is it right here, young girls. Hear me and hear me now. Because right now I'm on my young girl thing. If you're not young, you can listen in the back. You can listen in the back because you should have got this already. Because they try to tell you you want to listen. So I'm really putting all the young girls in the front. Come to the front, young girl. Come to the front. Now I forgot I was about to say you doing all that drama, girl. I was talking about dating. There you go, I got it. I was like, oh, I want to date. I want a lot of people take me out. I want to be able to choose who I want to be with. Blah, blah, blah. This is so cool. I just wanted to have that whole experience since this marriage thing ain't working out, right? But like I said, when you go on a vacation, you want to go with people you know it's going to work out with. You know you're going to have fun with. So if you relate that to dating, that's a boyfriend. That's a courting phase. That's a husband to be because you already know your husband to be is the best when it comes to you. Y'all already click. So dating is like going to vacation with strangers. You don't know how it's going to go. Some days you're going to be running the other direction. The other days going to be good the first time and then not at the other time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you don't know what you're getting, and that could cause anxiety. And then you could miss the whole point of being on that vacation. Imagine you were on vacation for 30 days and it was a new person every single day. That's what dating is. But if you had that one person in roadie, y'all have fun every day. You wake up, you have fun. At night, you have fun. It's all good. That is your husband, ladies. Men, that's your wife. So this part right here, it really, really, really breaks my heart. It breaks my heart for the 4B because I know where I was at mentally. I said, Lord, deliver me. Because all I seem to do is hurt me, hurt me. I said, Lord, if you don't bring this man, here's what I'm going to do. I ain't checking for nobody no more. I ain't doing this no more. I don't want to date no more. I don't want to be with nobody no more. I ain't going to try to be wife no more. To the end of my days, God must know when I'm being serious because I say for the rest of my life, this last one don't work, I'm be single. Oh, the last one worked. Yeah, I was done. And I was saying stuff like, these men going to lose a good wife out in these streets. I'm like, ma'am, you got to remember when you saying stuff, they don't care. You special to you. I am special. And I'm special to that person that wants me. But it's 7 billion people, so they don't think I'm special yet. Like they have their criteria what special mean, right? And I ain't that to them. So I had to humble myself and say, you know what? These people don't care. These men don't care. They have a wife on the sideline. They don't care. They're gonna move on to the next lady tomorrow. So I just hurt myself. So that's why I say make sure you're not hurting yourself when you're doing this 4B thing. Because not having no child, I would not want to go through my whole life and not have a child. That's just fighting your nature. You see, when men don't want to get married anymore, but they're still having sex, what did they really lose? They wasn't trying to get married in the first place. They more so after sex than marriage. They want marriage to solidify sex. We use sex to solidify marriage, even though that's not the right way to do it. It's not how God wants us to do it. Men are fine And I'm not saying in the no matter what, y'all women gonna be nothing and the men gonna be something. No, men are okay. They don't really care about marriage. If they care about the woman that cares about marriage. But women, when we have this desire, right? Read the Bible, the first couple of chapters, and you realize that Eve has a desire for only her husband. But why you gotta say only her husband? That's why we want a man so bad. We go to conferences to say, Lord, what do I have to do so I can get my man? Ain't no conference for the men wanting to get married. Mm-mm. They'll go to the conference of how to get a girl in bed. Yeah, they'll do the dating job. They'll do the what's those dating tips? Those what was it? Those the sketchy arts. They'll do that, right? And so they keep saying that there's no difference between a 24-year-old to 50-year-old woman, right? That's not true in every case, but it's so many in numbers. People like me don't matter. This it's all about the majority. But yeah, I almost was a 4B person, but I mean, I wasn't gonna be gay. I already had kids. I was just gonna stop dating and stop wanting marriage, and I was gonna be fine. I was just gonna focus on my career and whatever. And then I had to ask myself, even if I had $1 billion, would I? And I think that the enemy tried to trick me because the person I was with at the time, they were not on their. When I say they were not doing their job, I was doing my job, his job, our job, all of it. I was doing everything right, and it's not. I would never do that again. I'd rather have no relationship than to put myself through that again, right? Quote unquote, trying to find a man that's attractive that I think fits the part. No, I'm not willing to try that hard. Actually, getting a man is you're not trying at all. The only thing you're trying to do is getting better with yourself. That's it. You have to become the best version of yourself. Calm, patient, caring, beautiful. Not the money part. Because when you really look at it, the government wants you to believe in money. It ain't nothing really to believe in. We need it. It's fine. But when you work on your character, oh baby, you're gonna find out. So many things happened today because we had this fashion show at the church, and there's rehearsals, there's clothes, there's a lot going on, and you're dealing with children, and it came out well. So we all experienced something crazy happening. People losing keys, couldn't get home, like people were standing behind the car, like something bad was waiting at every corner because we were doing so well that the enemy wanted to mess us up. But we just kept, doing what we need to do. And I believe that God wants you to multiply, be fruitful and multiply, have your children, live your life, have your kids. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. I forgot what that was. But anyway, it hurts me that I felt like I had to go my own way because I didn't know where to heal. That's so good. I didn't know what to heal. I didn't know where to heal. I didn't want to do the work. So for me, 4B is the women giving up on themselves. They're giving up on themselves, right? And not only are they giving up on themselves when it comes to marriage, I'm not saying that like me, I would be okay. That's like oh the billionaire story. That's what I'm trying to say. I would be okay not being married because I found a way to love myself, right? But because I tasted it, having somebody with you all the time, or not even all the time, but just having home, having that routine, having that stability, I knew that that was where I thrived. So being a wife early made me know that I am supposed to be a wife. It doesn't make sense for me to, because I actually enjoy intimacy. I enjoy being there for my husband. I enjoy being there for, well, I'm getting married, but I enjoy doing the part. And so it's once you see it, you can't unsee it, like Inception, right? So that's where I was like, okay, I'm gonna try again. And I had to get to a point where I said, you know what? Even if I'm hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt, I just gotta keep standing back up. Even though they shut me down, keep standing back up. Even though they hurt me, keep standing back up. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna flip the rules on them. I make my own standards, my own rules. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. Sorry. And what I really never knew my power. That was the problem. God is trying to show you something. Your power is to close your legs and become a better person. Become such a beautiful person. Men will naturally be like, I want to be a part of your life. You need to let me in. That's why I felt like why can't we do a boycott of stop being promiscuous? Because this could work. 4B could switch the the pendulum goes this way and that way, right? It could switch it to be like if the women act like they don't want to deal with the men no more, well, we all can't turn gay. That's crazy. And then if we're saying we're not having sex no more, that's the only way y'all don't want to have sex because you're so extreme. Why you just can't like men and not have sex at the same time? Like it's not that hard. It's very hard. Trust me, it's very hard. But at the same time, it's like you're working towards something. But it's because you don't want to humble yourself and you don't want to grow. You just rather, I'm going to punish you for punishing me, for punishing you. It's crazy. So this guy who was married, and this is what makes me real sad. The men going their own way, right? And I'm sad for the women naturally. I love women. As far as my sisters, I want to see y'all win. I want to see y'all do better. I want to see like fruits. Like if you're around me, all right, don't do that, Ruth. Why you do that? Okay, if you're around me for like 20 minutes, you know that I'm going to try to do everything for you to big you up, to help you, to network for you, to look out for you, to have opportunities for you. I just see things and I just make it happen. Oh, okay, let me make this introduction to that person. This person have an event. This is da. The ideas be flowing. It don't have to be money, but when you're around certain people, it's like that. It's like, wow, I am becoming the woman that I always wanted to be. It don't look all what it should look like, but I'm her. I'm being her. Being her, being her is better than doing and showing that I'm her. Because I know first you got to be, then you do, then you have. So I'm being and doing, and then having will come. So to be valuable to the opposite sex and they appreciate it is beautiful. So you want to go through life alone? Like, y'all got that. I just can't see myself doing that. For what? There's so many nice people around. There's nice guys, there's smart guys, there's handsome guys, there's guys that will not cheat on you. They exist. You have to believe it. I didn't believe it. And I feel like a lot of these guys, they're like, because the woman is a feminist, that's why I discourage feminism. I do want women to have rights. Don't get me wrong. I'm not no women should not vote woman. No, that's stupid, right? But or I shouldn't be name calling. That's not something we talk about here. But it's just like women need to be seen, heard, felt, appreciated. Yes, but so do men. So my thing is, whoever we're swinging too hard on, I'm gonna come for the other side because I want to see y'all together, right? I don't want to see men on a pedestal treating women badly. I don't want to see women on a pedestal treating men badly. No, can we both all come down and take care of each other? Anyway, all right. I'm gonna do this and I'm out. I'm out. But this is very important. So women going their own way is because they've been mistreated by these men, and it's not all men, but some men mistreat them. Because the MGTOW people, I could say not all women are like that. He's trying to say there's no difference between a 24 and a 50-year-old. That this is the same music, has the same mindset. Da, da, da. Everybody, like that's people he knows. But people I know, we have another world that we live in. We are in our own bubble. You just haven't found that person. Because a lot of times y'all not qualifying because y'all not growing, personally developing. Somebody did say that. That's true. Y'all doing all the physical stuff to make the money, but the mental, spiritual, and emotional part, you're not doing. That's where the men are failing. If the men were spiritual leaders and the men was like, look, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, I'm praying for you, fasting for you, this is where we what? What? But they don't want to do that. They want to create a program that has nothing to do with God. And then they want good women to follow them into a ditch. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. All right. Let's go. All right. I love this. This is Lucky's channel.
He's on point and exactly. I'm in agreement to what he was talking about. I'm on the same type of time. Definitely. I do what I can. Free agent lifestyle. Yeah, I tried. You're a free agent. Yeah, I tried it. I'm scary. I learned a lot. out of that. I've been divorced about several years. I had a consistent, serious, steady girlfriend. Unfortunately, I lost her to cancer. So I'm finished. I'm done.
So you're like the male version of the men going their own way, pretty much. Like, you're not trying to fight women on what they want. You're not really trying to give them what they want. You just like, F it. I don't really care.
Platonically, I have female friends. Like, romantically, not really. I mean, I'll deal with professionals, a friend here or two. Other than that, anything romantically, real detailed involved, I'm done. I'm lucky to say, because some people never get married. Some people never know what that is. I got to experience that. So I've been blessed. I've gotten to know what love is twice. Both times it didn't work out. So I'm chilling at this point. So.
Did she break your heart? She broke your heart, or you broke hers?
Yeah, the marriage, we just grew up. I got married as a kid in the military. Real young, I had my son. That was a wonderful thing out of it. He's grown now. You just growing to different people. Now that at this stage of my life, I understand how serious marriage and stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more equipped now to be married, but now because I understand how daunting the task is, I definitely wouldn't do it again at all. So,
what is wrong with y'all? Hold on. Wait, finish, because I'm realizing y'all got something in common. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I've dealt with women in that capacity. Things didn't work out. I learned a lot. As the new modern woman and new age woman now, like I said, dealing with them in relationship-wise, I really don't want to. It's a bad product. So it's not and I have a son who's 24. So I really feel bad for the young cats. This is the quality of woman that's out here. And unfortunately, there's not a big difference from a girl that's 20 and a girl that's 50. They both act the same and be doing the same thing, talking the same, watching the same shows, listen to the same music. It's just, it's like I said, over in all, it's a bad product. So outside of something sexually, I'm not really trying to deal with and entertain it.
So you want to fish? Okay.
Trying to deal with and entertain it.
You said all you want is fish. Okay. Look at Lego. Would you get married?
This is somebody that was a husband. They got divorced. You know he didn't file for divorce, baby. You know he didn't. The statistics say. What would the statistics say? He most likely got divorced on, right? He got divorced on. So then he came out here and he ended up not getting married again because he keeps dealing with the same type of woman. A woman that's not serious. And then y'all want to blame them for not being serious. But if he found somebody that he could take serious or he respected. See, men want someone they can look up to spiritually in a way. I'm not saying like he wants a spiritual leader. I'm just saying a woman, the point of being the virgin is the purity, right? He wants a woman that is going to do the right thing, that has the ethics, the morals, and all of that. As a man, sometimes they feel like they got to do the wrong thing to get the right result. So you are their moral compass, right? And so if you're portraying I'm good, if you're portraying or acting in a way like I'm not like other people as far as like not in a pick me way, but like I'm just elevated. Like they're gonna want to be with you. Like that woman that does her thing though, they're gonna want to be with her. Like they're gonna be like, oh, she's different. All this other stuff, but they like certain things. Like I don't watch like Real Housewives. I used to when it first came out with Nene and all of them. Like, but when I realized like, oh my gosh, it turns into something else and something else. So there wasn't nothing wrong with Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? It was fine. But when it turned into the hip hop and love and hip hop, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can get into that. Certain things I don't want to even get into because just because everybody else says good, I'm not getting nothing out of it. Just entertainment and drama. I'm a woman. I like drama. I like entertainment. But the Bible says whatever is good, dwell on that. Whatever is right, right? Whatever that is, it's it's positive. Dwell on these things. But if it's not positive, then you need to let it go. And now, what you're doing in your personal life is stopping you from being married because Derek wants to marry somebody. He wanted to before, but if he realized the law is going to screw him, and he realized that you don't even want a relationship, and Mr. Fantastic said earlier in the live stream that they keep saying I'm not husband material. I don't know. They just want to kick it. They say that when they don't think you're attractive or they don't like your attitude. That's what women say. Um, or you're too masculine for them, right? And there is such a thing as being too masculine for a woman who wants to be the dominant one, right? So I feel bad for the men. I feel bad for the women. Like some of these women just jumping in on the 4B thing, don't even know what it's going to require. And when I'm around, do me a favor, all the single women who don't need a man and whatever, like stay away from me if you're gonna be jealous that my kids are grown and drive me around. Stay away from me when I have my grandchildren and the great grandchildren and you're just starting out and your baby's 5. Okay, I'm on my great grandchild and your baby's 5 and you 55. Okay, what we're not gonna do, right? Because you didn't prioritize something, is look bad at me. Look at me like I did something wrong to you. You made your choice. Y'all still making choices. These guys, they're like, I'm not getting married on paper. I would not legally want to get married. I would do it another way, but no. But they were married. This, and then he said, now that I know what it really entails, I wouldn't even, want to put myself through that, right? And he's like, now I can do it. I don't want to do it, right? He don't want to do it because he hasn't found somebody worthy enough to do it for. That's why I say take provider 100% provision out, because you would have to be Mother Teresa for a man wanting to take care of a woman in 2024. I don't know what that, because, and then it's not, doesn't mean he's not a good man, but if all the men keep warning him, like, don't do everything, she's going to take advantage, blah, 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 he's probably on the guy side, he's probably smart by saying he wants you to help and contribute. He's like fostering that teammate environment. So now, if he finds someone, it's like, oh, I want you to, versus the you have to be a provider and take care of me thing. That girl is, she's gonna be waiting a long time, right? She may not find what she like, right? Depending on if she's what that guy wants. But the girl that's 50-50 is like, oh, she's willing to compromise. She's willing to be a team player. That's what 50-50 means, right? Especially, and then it's up to you to be like, now that we're doing 50-50, I'm going to need you to help me raise the kids and help me with the chores. And it's that simple, but we making it hard. All right, guys, let me know what you think behind here. I don't want men to go their own way. I don't want women to go their own way because we're not getting fruitful and multiplying. So the world will be over if we ever did that, right? If we're not having babies anymore, it's just be done. It'd be like 7 billion and then 1 billion and then nobody. And then what? And then what? Right? All right, guys. Love y'all. Have a good one. Thank you for watching Ruth and Relationships. Ruth and Relationships. Tell me, can you handle it? It's the Ruth and Relationship Show. Bye. Have you ever thought of going your own way as a man or a woman? Have you ever thought of that? Because I know I did. And a lot of times when I was off the market, I was just taking myself off the market, whether to heal, whatever. I just didn't want to date. I didn't want to go through that mess. So I spend way more time trying to heal versus even on the market, for real, for real. All right. Love y'all. Have a good day. I can't wait to hear from you.